Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. We're going to be comparing Bitcoin versus gold, or cryptocurrency versus precious metals. I invest into both and have been successful at both, so this is going to come from an unbiased opinion, just sharing in my opinion what's the smarter, safer investment, and which can gain the most potential, which can you really become successful at, especially in today's time. Because once upon a time you could have got rich off Bitcoin, but today's terms are a lot different and the markets are a lot different. So before we start, make sure to smash that like button. Let's see if this video can get 250 likes. Everyone like the video right now. If you love cryptocurrency or if you love precious metals, smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. I post daily videos. If you want the newest, latest, freshest information in the world of precious metals, this is your channel. With that said, let's jump into the video. So, Bitcoin, a couple of years ago, skyrocketed. It exploded from a couple $100s to several $1,000s. Actually, it got up to around $20,000. And a lot of people got rich off of it, including myself. You know, I made a pretty penny off of Bitcoin. And the herd mentality that came with it, people expected if they bought Bitcoin, they would get rich. And that's not the case. You had to buy it while it was still cheap, when no one was really talking about it. If you were the people that bought it after it already exploded, then you really didn't make much money, and you barely even broke even if you got lucky. So depending upon when you invest into something is really when you're going to make money. You can trade cryptocurrencies, but that's risky as well. So this video is going to explain why, in my opinion, precious metals are the smarter, safer investment. And it's for one reason, and I'm going to talk about this a lot. You want to invest into something that has intrinsic value. Precious metals have intrinsic value, which means value within itself. Bitcoin doesn't really have intrinsic value. The only thing that Bitcoin really has going for it is its limited supply, especially since Bitcoin halving was this year, where there's only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be created. And a lot of those are lost in wallets, and a lot of people are holding on, so there's a very limited amount that's going around. And for a global currency, 21 million is extremely low. So that's something that makes Bitcoin unique. It's rare, and it's stored publicly on the blockchain, where every transaction is stored on a public database for other people to see, and it's used decentralized. It's a decentralized currency, right? The blockchain is very unique and has a lot of potential, but it's still in a very rough draft phase, in my opinion. There's way too many cryptocurrencies. There should only be Bitcoin, and that's it, or Ethereum at most. But since there's hundreds, if not thousands, of different altcoins, it really confused it just made things more complicated than it really should be. If there was just Bitcoin, or just, Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think Bitcoin would have had a better chance of being an actual currency. But since there's so many different altcoins, it just makes things a mess. See, Bitcoin, in my opinion, had its chance to shine, but they failed. And I don't think it's ever going to replace the dollar like some speculate. It's still in a beta phase, and there is potential for it in the future moving forwards to, because think of it this way. We're living in a digital age nowadays. So if there's going to be a new currency that will replace the dollar, which there will be, the dollar's crashing, fiat currency's crashing, you would think it would be digital, right? And the advantages of everything of Bitcoin is you can trade or send a digital currency instantly across the globe. It's like everyone's speaking the same language, but in a monetary form, because it's not the US dollar, it's not the Canadian dollar, it's not the Chinese yen, it's Bitcoin, universal. I can send money to someone in China and it's still Bitcoin. Where in the US dollar, you'd have to convert it and do all that other stuff. So it is unique, and it does have potential, but it's still in rough draft phase, and I don't think it's still the smartest, safest investment. Gold and silver are. So this article I'm going to start reading, and it's talking about, should you buy gold or Bitcoin? In the past year or so, many analysts and others in the world of economics have predicted a recession. After many years of a bull market, investors concerned about the possibility may abruptly begin looking for a way to shift their investments into more stable safe havens. See, gold and silver is the safe haven metal. It's a hedge against inflation. It's held its value for over 5,000 years. Bitcoin is a newborn baby compared to gold and silver, so it's definitely the safer investment. The traditional move would be hedge against stock volatility with gold, like I was just explaining. This has proven an effective method in the past, but a newer alternative is challenging the old school safe haven. Launched in 2009, Bitcoin ushered in a new era of digital currencies. As a leading cryptocurrency, Bitcoin has many of the properties of a currency, but with some unique features that can make it a viable haven. Ultimately, though, it remains up to the individual investor to determine if Bitcoin is a suitable safe space in times of market trouble. And that's the thing. It really does depend upon each individual. Maybe someone would do it extremely well with trading cryptocurrencies, but they wouldn't be as successful with precious metals because they are different markets and they move on different terms. Precious metals is a much slower market that moves more off of supply and demand. Bitcoin is moving more off of speculation. So below we'll compare gold and Bitcoin as safe haven options. Get some gold. There are several factors that make gold a strong safe haven asset. It's valuable as a material for consumer goods such as jewelry and electronics, and it's scarce. Regardless of demand, supply remains disproportionately low. Gold cannot be manufactured like a company issues new shares or a federal bank prints money. It must be dug up from the ground and processed. And that's kind of like Bitcoin too, though, because Bitcoin, it has to get mined digitally, through, and miners you have to pay a mining fee or a cost for people to mine or find these Bitcoin in the blockchain. So it's definitely true. It's with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, there's a mining pool. You have to pay a small fee, usually like 5%. With gold and silver, you have to dig it out of the actual ground, not in an electronic database. So accordingly, gold has almost no correlation with assets like currencies. In stocks and stock indices such as the S&P 500, the precious metal used to be tied to the dollar until 1971 when President Nixon severed the ties between U.S. currency and gold as a base. And that was the last time where money stood a chance. When we got rid of the gold and silver standard, we were SOL because we're trying to run off of a system that has no backing. There's no value that backs it. The dollar isn't backed by gold or silver, so it's backed by what? The faith of the people. The dollar's worth as much as people, quote unquote, think it is. And if people lose faith in the dollar, then the dollar will fall. Since then, those who do not want to ride stock market swings to their full extent have instead vested in gold. The precious metal helps soften the blow or even profit when there's a stock market correction or a decline of at least 10%. And that's the truth, right? As the dollar crashes, gold and silver is a way to make money, actually. While most people are losing money, you can actually not only break even, not only hold your money basically in a time capsule, but you can make money. If you store $50,000 in a bank account in US dollars or fiat currency and another $50,000 in gold and silver, the $50,000 in your bank account in 10, 15, 20 years from now will have drastically declined. What you can buy with that, maybe you can buy a Tesla nowadays, but in 15, 20 years from now, you won't be able to buy a Tesla for $50,000. The purchasing power of the dollar is losing value every single day. But in gold and silver, that $50,000 you invested not only will hold its value, but the chance of those coins appreciating also goes up. So you're definitely storing your money in a place that holds its value. It's a hedge against inflation. It's a preservation of your wealth. So anyway, Bitcoin bursts onto the scene. Bitcoin is a blockchain-based currency or cryptocurrency that shares some properties with its gold counterpart. In fact, many have called Bitcoin digital gold in the past due to its weak relationship with other assets, stocks especially. Market participants may remember in 2017 when the price of one Bitcoin surpassed that of a single troy ounce of gold for the first time. As of January 2020, Bitcoin's price is above $8,700, but how is it so valuable? More importantly, should those running from stocks consider investing into cryptocurrency? Like gold, there's a limited amount of Bitcoin, kind of like what I was talking about. Satoshi Nakamoto, the the pseudonymous creator of Bitcoin, limited the total supply of 21 million tokens. Bitcoin is also like gold in that it's not issued by a central bank or federal government. As a decentralized cryptocurrency, Bitcoin is generated by the collective computing power of miners, like I was explaining earlier. Individuals of pools and people working to verify transactions, which takes place with Bitcoin network, that are rewarded for their time, computing power, and effort with Bitcoin. To ensure that the market isn't flooded, the Bitcoin protocol stipulates that these rewards are periodically halved, ensuing the final Bitcoin won't be issued until the year 2140. So that's what I was talking about Bitcoin having this year. But anyways, comparing the two. For hundreds of years, gold has dominated the safe haven asset arena. While Bitcoin was launched just over a decade ago, it only has achieved widespread recognition in the past few years. Below, we'll compare these two investment options head to head. Transparency, safety, and legality. Gold's established system for trading, weighing, and tracking is pristine. It's very hard to steal it, to pass off fake gold, or to otherwise corrupt the metal. Bitcoin's also difficult to corrupt, thanks to its encrypted decentralized system and complicated algorithms, but its infrastructure to ensure your safety is not yet in place. And a lot of people got scammed with Bitcoin, and there's so many ways to lose your Bitcoin. There's no Bitcoin police, so if you lose your Bitcoin or if you get scammed, you are SOL. Number two is rarity. Both gold and Bitcoin are very rare resources. The halving of Bitcoin's mining reward ensures that all 21 million Bitcoin will be out in circulation by the year 2140. While we know there's only 21 million Bitcoin that exist, it is unknown that what the world's gold mine will be from the earth. So number three, baseline value. Gold has historically been used in many applications, from luxury items to jewelry to specialized applications in dentistry, electronics, and more. In addition to ushering in a new focus on blockchain technology, Bitcoin itself has tremendous baseline value as well. 4. Liquidity. Both gold and Bitcoin have very liquid markets where their fiat money can be exchanged for them. Number 5 is volatility. One major concern for investors looking toward Bitcoin as a safe haven asset is its volatility. Besides overall volatility, Bitcoin has historically proven itself to subject with markets within news, particularly as the cryptocurrency boom swept up a number of digital currencies into record high prices at the end of 2017. In the recent years, a number of alternative currencies, altcoins, have launched which aim to provide more stability than Bitcoin. And that's what I was talking about. There's so many different types of coins. So, anyways, comparing the two, you can see they're different markets, and maybe one is better off than another, depending upon your exit strategy, your buying time frame, selling time frame, your financial situation, how patient you are. But overall, I definitely think gold and silver is the safest, smartest alternative to the dollar. If you're looking to invest and you want something that holds its value, that has potential, gold and silver, more specifically silver in my opinion, has the potential to definitely make you some profits. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. The link to this article from Investopedia.com will be in the description. Someone actually mentioned that I should make a video about this, so I decided to, because I haven't talked about Bitcoin or my thoughts on it in a very long time. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.